So we're right on top of my question, so I'm just going to go ahead and ask it.
Go for it.
So I found an interesting title on the internet, or some clickbaity type stuff. And I'm like, oh, that incenses my, I'm getting uppity about this title, and I want to share it because it pisses me off, or it makes me super happy, or whatever. What should I do before I do that?
That's a great question. My biggest thing is pause.
Pause?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pause. Take a breath. And then if someone is shouting at you, or if someone is getting an emotional rise out of you, just stop for a minute.
Okay.
And think about it. And then start reading. Start going a little deeper.
So read the article?
Read the full article, first of all.
Do tell.
What is that?
Most of us don't do that. There's a wonderful professor and academic, Marianne Wolf, who says that most of us cannot finish a book. And I forget her exact data.
Gosh,
I wish I had the data, but I have it in my dissertation. Read the dissertation. No. But it's, most of us cannot even get through that, a book. And that's every age.
Yeah.
Our attention spans, because of how social media and the internet has rewired us. Do you ever find yourself, your phone's next to you, you're trying to get something done, and then you're like, oh, got to check that text message. Or you're online looking at something, and then your Outlook, icons right there, Twitter and everything else. And you're like, so we're kind of being rewired. Our brains are very plastic, and we want to go this direction, that direction. So it's natural for you, when you feel an emotion, to want to share something.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that's how the social media companies make profit too. So then there are bad actors who want to just put the most salacious stuff out there, so it trends, So that's the first thing I do, is just pause, think about it. Why am I getting a reaction right now? What's happening to me? You're definitely getting a dopamine hit. Everyone's going to get that. And just know you're not alone. Everyone gets that. Even me, I study it very deeply, and I'm like, that pissed me off. I want to share that. Everyone does that. But then you have to really dig in. What is true? What's fact here? And take that moment, just like you would if you were writing a research paper, writing a peer-reviewed article. You'd have to look at your sources. So you have to really dive in and see that. When you're looking at news or any kind of information online. And where was it shared? Usually something's shared by someone. It's like the game of telephone, right? Remember when you held the can up and you talk through it? By the end, the message is completely garbage.
And something, and it hit me again. Had a conversation, and we talked about this on previous podcasts. Data is not perfect. We do our best to capture reality with data. So what makes that powerful is that you need multiple data points to be able to tell the right picture. Just like in the news, one source will never be the truth, but when you take 5 or 6 different ones, you can feel more confident, at least, of the real picture.
Exactly.
Well, so some of that comes back to trust sources. Like, is something a dubious authority or not? Meaning, can everybody kind of lean on it? And so you're talking about the Times and the Wall Street Journal have really heavy code of ethics. And so as a media sharer, myself, I feel an obligation to read the article through to make sure that the title matches up with the article and that nothing stands out as incorrect. Because personally, I would hate that if I shared something and then, and I was just like, can you believe this, or whatever it is that I'm sharing for? And then it comes back and they're just like, well, the article didn't say anything about this.
Yeah.
And it's just, or the article, nowadays more than anything, it's they'll have a sensational headline, and then the actual content of the article is less than a paragraph. Yeah. And it's just hey, this happened.
Yeah.
Yep. You get that more and more. It's everything's a 2-minute read now.
Yeah.
Just for the headline.
Right. And the content doesn't always match the headline either. So
There's
clickbaity entertainment journalism.